Ready to crochet a plant? Okay, let's go sit over there. Are you waiting for me to crochet, Daisy? Are you ready to crochet? Are you ready to crochet? Yes, yes. I think I'm going to use this yarn just for, so it's easier to see. If not, if I change my mind, it's going to be this baby rainbow. From Red Heart, of course.
Okay, let's begin. We're going to begin with a magic ring. And the way I do that is I start my chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. I kept that first chain kind of loose, and that's going to be our magic ring, and we're going to work into that. We're going to make 6 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now that tail that we had, we're going to pull it tight. Do you hear Coco? Coco, are we interrupting your nap? Excuse me. Okay, so then we're going to go into our first stitch that we made. Count back from your hook, 6 if you can't find it, and I yarned over there, and we're not supposed to, so I inserted my hook into that first stitch, and then I just brought the stitch all the way through, and that's a slip stitch. We're going to make increase in each stitch now, okay? That means 2 in each stitch, and that'll increase this round, double it, so that's 12. This next round will be 1 increase, 1 increase, and that is the sequence we will follow. Round 4 is going to be another round of increases. And it will be our last round of increases, and it will be back into the same spot that we slip stitched into. We're going to make 1, another single crochet, increase, 1, 1, increase. And let's do that all the way around. 1, 1, increase. Okay, that's the end of round 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to chain 1, and now this is about as wide as our pot is going to be. If you want it wider, bigger, make another round. Bigger still, make another round with this sequence. This was 2 increase, you would go to 3 increase, 4 stitches increase. So go as many rounds as you want and how big you want it. Okay, I chained 1, and now from now on we're just going to work a single crochet all the way around. And this is round 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we're going to make it to round 10. So I'll meet you there, okay? Okay, now, so I finished, and let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds of the total amount for this little pot. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of increases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of single crochets. Okay, so now we have slip stitched and made our chain. And you okay, honey? Go back to sleep, Bobby. Go back to sleep. And now we're going to make our straps, our little, what do you call those? Handles? You know what I'm talking about. 1, and we're going to make 60 single crochets, okay? So that's 3, and I'll meet you when we have 60. Okay, I have made 60 chains, and now I'm tangled. Okay, so now what we want to do, this is the tail for this from the center. We are going to bring it over to the other side, but how do we keep it even? Well, we fold it with this end right here where the strap is coming out of. And then when we fold it, we will automatically get the even side over here. So this is where we will insert our hook, and we will bring it through to the pot. Let's see, where am I? Okay. And we just slip it through. I like to make another stitch in one of the stitches close by, and then I cut it off. Now leave it rather not too long, but long enough. Don't make it a short little tail. Sorry, Koki. Coco's like, what happened? Well, if you're a crochet dog, you will end up with yarn on you somewhere. Okay, so this is what we have here. We brought it through this one stitch. Then after it was secured with basically a single crochet, we did another single crochet in one of the side ones. Okay, one of the stitches next to it. I'm going to insert my hook back into where we attached it. Going to bring this through here. And then I'm just going to weave it in and out the rows like this. Do it however you want. You want to hide this inside the pot. One more time, I think. And I don't think you really see it. Tell me if you see it, where I inserted it. You probably can because you were looking at me. Now can you see it? Ha 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 ha. Okay. Now we're going to make the other one. But where do we place it? Where do we start it? Well, this is my trick for doing it. I put these two straps together and I fold it. And when I fold it, we automatically get the even side of here. So we choose, I always choose, like there's in between, I choose the one that's right here. See how there's, like this is the center. So these two are in the center. I choose the one to the right, the stitch to the right, and I didn't put it in the right place there. Let's see. Let's fold it again, and let me see. And I put it through the stitch. Then I get my yarn, and I bring it through. Sorry if you can hear that noise. It's my neighbor's cleaning his goat area. I live in a HOA subdivision, and one of our neighbors has goats. It's funny. All right. I go into the next stitch also, and then I bring it up. However you want to do it. This is just the way I do it, but that's the way I do it. So I secure it into one spot, then I single crochet into the next spot, and then I start my chains of 60. Okay, and I'll see you back over here when I get the 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we are. We have that first one, and now we have our other strap with 60 chains, and we are just going to go right over that. See, let me just see, put these straps here. We're just going to go over to this side, and we are going to find this side. Remember how we did it? By folding this. Just keep that out of the way. We're going to go into the right one. Let's look at it now that it's inserted there. There is a stitch. I'm going to bring it through, chain, single crochet, and in the next stitch, single crochet. There we go. And then we cut it off and do the same thing as we did before. Brought it through. There we go. And we have this. That's what we have. And then I will bring this back into here, and I will pull it tight. Okay? So it gives it a little bulk right there, which I like. You can pull it a little tighter, and then you just weave it in and out. You can do this with a needle, your upholstery needle, but you know, this works good for me here. Sorry. And you never see it. And it'll be stuck in there, and it'll add the little tail. Don't cut the tails, because then it'll add filler for here. This one, where we started it, is still out here. So we need to pull this one and do the same thing that we did on the other side. Okay. If you want to do it a different way that you think will look prettier, better, do that. But this is the Angie way, the only way I know. Actually, I probably know different ways, but this is the way I like to do it. And now you can even see it in there, okay? So everything's in there. That's the way it looks like, guys. So this is what we have so far, okay? Oh, sorry, Koki. Sorry, Koki. That's what we have, okay? Now we're going to make the dirt. But I'm going to show you something. If you don't like this size and you don't want to change the pattern, we're going to make another one with a different hook size. Remember, this one is 3, upside down 3, let's see, 3 millimeter. And we're going to do another one, exact same pattern, a different hook size, and let's see what we come out with. I'm not going to take you through it, but I'm going to show you the end result compared to this one in case you want a different size. These are 2 pots made with 2 different size hooks, the same pattern. So if you want it larger, you can go that route, or you can increase the increases at the bottom base of your pattern. Don't forget, if you increase the bottom base, make your chain a little longer. If we made 60 chains here, then maybe make 70 to 80 if you increase it. Maybe 10 per round that you... How do you like that, Coco? She's just watching my crochet. Okay. We are going to work on the dirt. Now, whatever you made, if you varied from my pattern, however you made the base of this, the increases, that's exactly what you can do on the top. So we did 4 rounds of increases. So we're going to recreate this in the brown. The magic ring, we did 1, 2, 3, and you choose any color. I like dark brown to look like dirt. And you do your 6 single crochets in here, just as we did for the base of the hanging pot, okay? So you go and do that and make 4 rounds the way we did for here. And I'll meet you in a bit. And I just slip stitched to close off the 4th round. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is as many rounds as we made in making the little pot. And we're going to leave a long enough tail to use to sew this on to the pot. And then I'm going to pull it right through, and we're just going to keep it just like that. And so we will just, I like to stick this in here and keep it nice and safe and put it aside, because now we're going to work on the leaves. Okay, we don't have the wrapper around here anymore, but this is Red Heart, and it's ombre green. I forget the name of it, but we'll see it again. I've used it before, so oh, is it called Green Tones? I can't remember. But anyways, I'm going to use this, and what we're going to make is string of pearls strands for this pot. Since it's very small, we will only need 3 strands of various lengths. Make a long one, a medium one, and a shorter one, if that's what you like. Okay, so here we go. Let me just toss this over here. It's pulling from the center, which makes me very happy. We are going to chain, let's see, we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to make puffs. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th chain, that's where we're going to be working, okay? So what we do is we yarn over, count back to the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, insert, pull it through, and then pull up and make them all the same height. This is going to be like your first, your height determination area here. And then you're going to yarn over, go through the same spot, pull through, and you're going to have to work them and make them all the same height again. That's 2 times. Now for the 3rd time, you'll do the same thing and go in through that same hook. Same chain. And then I just have to wiggle it back and forth to get it all to come up the same height. Now we're going to finish off this stitch by yarning over, yarning over, and bringing through all the loops together. Now once we have that, we're going to slip stitch it closed. We're going to turn our work around, and in that same stitch where we started making all these puff stitches, we're going to insert our hook, bring the stitch up. I think I caught something here, something extra, and you're going to tighten it up. Let's see if I can show that again. Tighten it up, make it tight, and then you're going to slip stitch it into that last stitch. There we go. See? It looks kind of funky. We're gonna make 4, 5, 6 more chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in the 4th chain again, we're going to work. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to do that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make another puff. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to finish off this stitch. Slip stitch through. Turn our puff around. This is where the yarn is right here. I'll go slowly. Insert your hook into where you started making the puff. Bring it through. Slip stitch it closed and tighten it up. And chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's talk about this chain 6. So making the chain 6, this is how close they are. Okay, and they're going to be turning round and round like that. If you want them closer, chain 5, chain 4, whatever you feel, you can change that if you want to. But this is the pattern that I'm going to give you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You continue on making these puff stitches. And this is one of my favorite stitches. I love it. This one and popcorn stitch. I love it. Okay, so that's 3 times. Bring it through all the loops. Slip stitch it closed. Turn it around. Make sure this is tight on your, not too tight, but snug on your hook. There's your working yarn right here because we turned it around, and we're going to go into that same space. And we're going to keep that pretty tight, and we're going to just work it right through, slip stitch it. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I have been known to make them very close together and then make a long chain, like maybe 8 to 10, and then do another puff just to make it a variety. But this one we're going to stay on task. Now continue on, and we will see how many I make in each of these. You're going to make 3 strands. So I'll meet you back here when I have all my strands made. Okay, so we're finished with our first one, and I'm going to show you how I close it off. So I finished this little bubble here, the little puff stitch, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to cut it off. Sorry, I'm moving the whole thing. Okay. And then I'm going to use my thumb nail to hold this and just pull it tight, pull that knot down, and it makes it pretty solid. And you can weave it in up through here and hide it in this bubble, or you can just hide it in this bubble, wherever you choose. I am going to hide it in this bubble here, and I'll just stick my hook in there. grab this, bring it through. Just bring it through. You can do it again. If you're a little paranoid like me, I go in through there in a different section, and when you pull it through there, you should be going through different strands, so it'll get hooked in there somewhere. There you go. Use my scissors. Be careful not to cut anything. And now it's in there, stuffed in that little ball. And you got the end of it. Okay, and then these just twirl around. I like to make them alternating on what side that they're on, just to make it look a little bit more nicer. You can just scrunch it up anyways. And let it just fall the way it wants to fall. And there's your first strand, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 puff stitch bubbles. Okay, let me go make the other ones. I think this will be our longest one. So 9, probably a 7, and a 5 maybe. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so here we go. We have our strands. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bobbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bobbles. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bobbles. Okay, what we do is we take our dirt circle here. I like calling it dirt. And we have that string that we're going to use, the tail that we will use to weave that in. But at the moment, we're just going to concentrate on the center right here. So I will insert my hook in there and I will put it down. But what I want to do first is to collect all of these together here and put them together in one big knot. I don't know what kind of knot this is called, but it's just a knot that I make. And it can go above them a little bit, but I just want a knot in there. Okay, so I'm gonna, my hook is through my center, coming from the bottom up to the top part, and we're gonna pull these strands through the center. Now, we did not tie anything, so the center can, be pulled up a little wider because it hasn't been woven in or anything like that. But this little knot is going to give us a little anchor, okay? Now we're going to use the tail from the magic ring, and we're going to pull that. Oops! Oh no, Angie, I tore it. What am I going to do now? I am going to have to sew something on there. Okay, well, you know what? It's good that you see this, because sometimes craziness happens. Gotta find my little needle. And we're going to fix this. Okay? So first of all, I'm going to, where is this? Right here? Okay. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't, the problem is that this magic ring might come undone because the tail is so small. We don't want that tail to disappear, but we want to go ahead and make our magic ring secure. Can you see that? It's hard to see the dark color, so I'm just weaving in and out a bit, and we want to secure this ring. Where is the, okay, and we're just going to go around, catching some thread, some yarn stitches, and then we're going to take where we started and make a knot. We're going to pull it tight. I don't know my own brute strength sometimes, and I break the yarn. I should have watched out. I tried to be careful. Okay, so this would have been the tail that I had left there. Okay, so now we're gonna tie it to the green strands. Alrighty, so if I hadn't broken that yarn off, I would have been doing this with that tail from the magic ring. And I'm just tying multiple knots here because I don't want this plant to come out. Oops, it caught some of the little bobbles to come out of the center. Okay, so do it as many times as makes you feel happy. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now we can had that been the tail from the magic ring, it wouldn't have been this long. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it in here because it's going to add to the stuffing. And this is the tail that came off of the dirt circle. Okay, so we don't stuff that in there. Alrighty, and look what we have here. It's all coming out of the center. Okay, and it's nice and neat. I used to stitch every one individually, and I thought, why am I doing that? I could just make it into a bunch and stick it in through the center of that magic ring. Okay, so now where are we? Oh, okay. Let's get rid of this green real quick out of the way because we're gonna put our stuffing up here. We're gonna take some stuffing. And we're going to stuff our little pot. Well, we don't need that much stuffing. We will stuff it again once right before we finish closing off the dirt. Okay, you can kind of fix that in there. You don't want it too stuffed because it'll bring your stitches across. But if you're using this 3.3 millimeter hook, it doesn't open very much. The stitches are pretty tight. Okay, so we have the filling in there. Now we're going to find where we started. Can we see where our seam is? Is that it right there? Oh no, here it is. So you can tell where the seam is. I like to start the seam here too, so if we ever have to just keep something in the back. Alrighty, so that's on top of there. Let me get my needle again and put that stuffing in there. Okay, I'm doing this through looking through the lens of the camera here, so forgive me. And this is where I noticed that, man, I really need some lotion on my fingers. Sorry about that. You'll have to see that hideous stuff. Okay, this is my seam of where I was starting my pot, starting and ending my pot rounds. So now, is it going to, okay. So here are the stitches on the top. I'm going to go through both of them, and I'm going to go back through a stitch here. And since we made them that we should have 24 here around and 24 around this, since we made it exactly like that circle. You keep this little stuffing in, you don't want it to peek out, but you go every stitch. And the stitch that matters the most is going in through here because you will see it and you want it to be nice and neat, right? And the one on the brown, the dirt, well, you can't see too much. But try to keep up stitch to stitch. They should have enough for each one, okay? And we're just gonna go around and stitch. And it's hard to see on this brown. But just keep on going and I'll meet you around the end, okay? Okay, I think I'm gonna show you how to go around the strap. So I bring the strap down this way and you pull this as tight as you want, or as you just don't want the stuffing to come out. I'm going into the stitches next to the strap. Then I'm going to the next stitch past the strap, or one of the stitches from the strap. You can do that also. And you just work that. If you have a better way of doing this, please, please, please do. I'm stuffing all of these stitches, all these tails in there. Where's the other one? Oh, yeah, this is that long one. I had to end up sewing it. And it adds for nice stuffing. It'll just be waste if I cut it off. So use it as a stuffing. Okay, let's continue. I'll meet you at the end, or almost at the end. Okay, you see how we just are almost towards where we started, so we still have a little opening here. This is where you're going to assess your little pot. Is it stuffed enough? I think this one is stuffed enough. If you make it too stuffed, this top part will bulge out. You don't really want that, unless you really want that. So you can decide. And now we just continue all the way to where we started. Okay, let's put it in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Notice that I'm not paying too much to the dirt area. I'm just making sure that the one around the pot looks pretty even, because you can't see the one in the dirt. Okay, we're coming up to where we met. We don't stop. We're going to go past it just a bit. I'm going to go behind this. Yes. And you see where we made our first stitch right here? We're going to do that again. And that's where we end for that. And then we're just going to go in. Let's hold some of these back. Can you see that? And go in the directions of your stitches to hide your strap. I mean your tail. Sorry I misspeak a lot, but I don't know why that happens. I blame it on medication. Didn't used to happen to me until I started medication for whatever I have. I just keep going back and forth, okay? Just to make sure it's not going to come out, right? Okay, so there it is. Put my needle back. There you go. Hold that. Get my scissors. And then just snip. And there we go. And you have your little plant. Make this wider. Oh, wow. I'll take some better pictures of it, but that's what we worked on. We have 3 strands. If you wanted more strands, make more strands and add different plants in here. But this is a small one, and I made 3 little plants, and then you can add a bead here if you wanted to. I didn't get an opportunity to show you guys how I put the bead on, but I will. Isn't that cute?